Hey guys, it's CrystalRenèe here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thanks for joining. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys all about my Philodendron Burle Marx and how she's doing today. If you're interested, then stay tuned. So as some of you may know, on March 7th, 2020, I received this plant in the mail. I actually did an unboxing video on this plant. If you want to check that out, go ahead and click the link in the right-hand corner. But yes, I kept this plant in a vase in water for about 2 weeks just to acclimate to my home. And then I went ahead and potted her into leca. I also did a video on this particular time as well. So if you want to check that out, here's the link up above. Now, after doing so, she kind of went downhill because I began to get sick. As some of you may know, I did get pregnant and I did get really, really sick from that. So before I was just too weak to do anything, I decided to go ahead and remove the yellow leaves that had yellowed. She actually grew 2 extra leaves apart from the 6 that she came with. So here you see me chopping off 2 of them because they had yellowed. So she was back down to 6 leaves after doing so. I felt the need to do this because I felt myself getting sicker and sicker and weaker. So I wanted to go ahead and treat her before I was too weak to even attend to her and she completely die. Mind you, at this time, I had no clue why she was even yellowing to begin with. But now, as I check the roots, her roots look amazing. But the reservoir was completely empty. There was no water at the bottom of the reservoir, so that explains why the leaves were yellowing due to underwatering. At this time, I decided I wanted to go ahead and pot her up in soil. So here I am removing her from her leca. You can see the roots grew all the way through the holes completely. So I thought I was going to have a hard time removing her from the pot, but actually it turned out to be quite simple, should I put it. So now that she's all removed from the pot, I'm going to go ahead and remove the remaining pieces of leca because I don't want to pot that up into the soil. So I'm going to remove every single piece of leca that I see. As you can see, the roots had outgrown the leca. Now, because the pot that I wanted to place her in was a bit small, I wanted to cut off some of the excess roots. Now, because I'm pregnant, I decided to go ahead and use gloves this time because I heard that the baby can catch some kind of fungal disease if you're messing around with soil while pregnant. I don't know, do your research, but I'm just being safe. Now you can see why I cut the roots down. She fits perfectly into this pot. So I'm going to go ahead and backfill it with soil and get her all nice and potted up. If you're wondering what's in my soil mixture, I only use 1 part Miracle-Gro, 1 part perlite, and 1 part orchid bark. And I just mixed that all up together and it created a well-draining soil. Now that she's potted up, I went ahead and watered her very well, completely, until she drained out the bottom. Here she is all potted up. I set her in a bright and direct light situation, watered her like normal, and this is what she looks like today. She's in the same pot as you can see. I went ahead and staked her up with a bamboo stick because as you can see, she is clearly top heavy. But look at those beautiful, shiny, gorgeous leaves. Yes, I did not clean those leaves at all. That is the natural look of these leaves. They are very beautiful, and as you can see, she has shot out new growth points all over the place. Just beautiful. Now I've turned her to the side. That way you can see that she actually grows towards the sunlight. So you will need to rotate this plant from time to time, as I do myself. When I place her back into her location, I will rotate her. That way she can start leaning towards the opposite way and everything could be even. So as I mentioned earlier, this plant started out with only 6 leaves. And now she has about 28 leaves with one unfurling leaf at the top. Actually, there's multiple unfurling leaves you can't really see because they are much smaller. She has multiple growth points, but at the moment there is a total of 28 leaves, and I must say that is awesome. I can only imagine what this plant is going to look like in years to come. I'm definitely going to have to cut her back because she's taken over my dining room table. Now this leaf in the middle is the newest leaf that has unfurled. I want you to know that when your leaf unfurls, sometimes they are small in size, but do not fret because they do grow larger over time. Now, I do believe I only have about 1 to 2, 3 maybe of the older leaves that was on this plant, and the rest I believe died back. But I am not complaining because she has given me abundance of growth. So guys, if your Burle Marx is losing some bottom leaves, don't worry. I think that's just part of the natural growth process. With that being said, if I can manage to grow this plant sick, pregnant, and can't get out of bed, and still grow this plant to the maximum that I've grown it thus far, anybody can do it. This is an easy to care for plant. I suggest you go out and get one if you don't already. Only if you have the space though, because this is a fast growing plant and I don't want anybody yelling at me telling me, you told me to go get this plant and it outgrew my living room. So yes, this plant is very fast growing, so be aware of that. This plant right now is very affordable as well. I believe this is a very underrated plant, and I think it should get more credit than it does because she is beautiful. Look at those leaves. I mean, who could say no to that? Now, at this point, I am on the fence about pruning her back. I know that pruning her back will promote more growth, but I kind of think I should just let her grow out and see where she lands. Part of me wants to cut her back just to fill out the bottom, but eventually I think it will. I don't know, guys. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and drop it in the comments below. Thank you to all of you who made it to the end of this video. Enjoy peace, spread love, and be blessed. Hey, don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. And until next time, happy growing!